Hey everybody, you're watching Riz Rat. My name's Riz, and in this video, I'm sick. Today I just wanted to share something about being a baby. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's weird that I was like ever a baby. I look at pictures of myself as a baby, and I just think like, how did I ever just exist as that? I don't get it. How was I ever a baby? How was I ever a baby? It just doesn't make sense. And I think about that, and I felt sympathy towards baby Riz. I think partially because I knew, from stories that my parents told me that like that little baby was getting a little bit neglected from her babysitter and fell down the stairs and would sit in a poopy diaper all day long and wouldn't get fed. And I cried a little bit. I shed a tear for that little baby, and I found that interesting that you can feel a sort of empathy for yourself, but only when you see yourself as like a pure helpless soul or something. The empathy for myself or the sympathy for myself, interestingly, as an adult, is like non-existent. Like, you hype yourself up or you stop beating yourself up because you know it's the right thing to do, but like, you don't genuinely look at yourself and like feel for you, right? You're like, you don't go like, damn, you're dealing with a lot right now, like that's tough, like girl, like, oh man, like you don't ever really feel that way. But when I look at a picture of myself as a baby, I do. I wanted to share that. I mean, I wondered if anybody else felt that way. I don't know what it is about the baby. Is it because it's helpless? Like, is it because you were just sort of at the whims of everybody else? Is it because you know what happened to you? Is it, maybe does that help us see ourselves as like, I don't know, worthy of love or something? Something about being a baby. I just think, I wonder how to use this. Like, I wonder if it's worth the practice of sticking a picture of yourself, if you have one, of you as a little kid or as a little baby, and looking at it every day and thinking about her or him and thinking about being in service to them. And I don't know. It's weird. I don't really know how to describe how I'm feeling. I just found it very interesting that I was moved by myself, and I never get moved by myself. Like, I just deal with the shit that happens to me in life. Thinking about what happened to her, I just get upset. And I don't know. We're with ourselves all the time, right? You're 24/7, you are you. And I think that brings with it, like, you get bored of yourself or something, or you get so tired of yourself. You know everything you do, in and out you. I mean, there's probably many parts of you that are not yet discovered, but, your experience with yourself is ongoing and constant, and how could you ever spend 100% of time with anything and still love it? So I guess it makes sense that on average we mostly dislike ourselves. But then you look at a picture of you as a baby, and then you feel so much, and then you wonder, like, why did the baby gets to be loved and cared for, but the adult, you're like, screw you, I don't care about you nearly as much. So one of the self-love practices that I started doing was to see myself like a little toad that I was taking care of. And that toad needed a good life. And that toad, although the toad makes mistakes, he, I don't know, tries to catch the cricket and he can't, and he has to keep trying. He finally gets it. Like, there's just this sense of like, you just love the toad for being a toad. The toad doesn't need to do anything. It's unconditional. It's a fucking toad, man. You look at that toad and you're like, dude, you're the best. I love you. And to sort of look at yourself that way, to love yourself unconditionally, it's tough. There are many conditions, many requirements. But I wonder if seeing yourself as a baby is sort of like seeing, the pure soul before it has been corrupt. I don't know what is it? I can't remember. Were we born as sinners or not? I don't know. But anyway, I see the soul as something so pure that goes on this journey and goes through pain and suffering and whatever and joy and all the good stuff too. If you can see that soul again, and not just within yourself, but within everybody and everything else, because I think that that soul link connects all of us. So if you were to start looking at the world from the perspective of souls rather than like individuals, then maybe you could connect in a new way. Maybe you could see past all the bullshit. Maybe you can forgive the mistakes and understand the pain and love and be supportive. Maybe. Maybe you don't need to be so judgmental. That's me telling myself not to be so judgmental. I'm so freaking judgmental. But yeah, maybe you can see past that and just start to search for the soul within, because it's in everybody, even the shitty people. And even I think they're in rocks too. I think rocks have souls, man. I don't know. I might have been on the juice or something for too long, but I really do. I really do. I don't know why, but I do. Sometimes you just touch a rock and you're like, I don't know about you. You're something ancient about you, man. That rock. I feel ya. But yeah, maybe that's all we need really, is to just try and see the soul in everybody and everything, and then you can start to understand, you can start to understand that everybody's shit behavior comes from pain. You can just, I think if you see that, it grants you an understanding of people, because instead of seeing you as like, okay, what worth are you to me? What good are you doing for this world? Like, how are you making the world a better place? Or what are you contributing? Like, if you're a suck, you're just taking things from the world, like whatever it might be. Like, I don't think that's a good way to see stuff. It's a natural way to see stuff, but I don't think it's a good way. I think we must evolve. I think we must purposefully seek the soul. And then when that person is human, which they will be human, I don't know, you don't get so mad about it. You don't get so bothered by it. You're just like, well, it's a soul having an experience. A lot of people might say, well, that's a cop-out. It's not about letting people get away with bullshit. I think it's just about changing the way you feel, because at the end of the day, we're on this wild ride. Planet seems like a weird place right now, and you gotta have something that, I don't know, keeps you going. You gotta have something that makes all of it okay. And I think when you recognize the soul in everybody and everything, you can be more at peace, and you can do better, and the world won't seem so corrupt anymore. And that sounds nice. I also wanted to add a note, since I don't really have anything further to say on the subject, and I'm sorry if it's not eloquent. You know what? I'm not sorry. I want to say it's been now 3 weeks. 3 weeks since I started making a video every day. That's crazy. It's been 3 weeks, technically, as of today. Is it? I don't know, or yesterday? I've lost count. Anyway, I've made a video every single day, and at first I was excited, and then I was terrified, and then now I feel liberated, but I don't know, it might just be because of, the period cycle as well, that may have an impact. In fact, it more than likely has an impact. And I think, as women, we forget about that. We forget that we just have this dominating cycle going on all the time that sort of runs behind the scenes, and sometimes can be unnoticed. Sometimes it's just so subtle, the way the puppet strings pull ya, your hormonal puppet strings, and sometimes they're not subtle at all. But I cannot say for a fact if it was the journey of making videos that pulled all these feelings out of me. It could have just been my period, but honestly, it was probably both. That's the truth. It's probably a combination of the two. Anyway, I'm happy. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm ready to explore and still make all sorts of different stuff. I still don't know what I like to make yet. I still don't know like what Rizrat is gonna be. All I know is that I'm having a dang good time. I'm ready to commit. It's day 21 out of 90 or 22. This is technically 22 out of 90, which we still have a ways to go, but man, my God, like when you start on something and you say you're going to do something every day, the body of work that you create, like quite quickly adds up and the time is going to pass anyway. So you may as well do something and then you look back and you're like, holy schmoly, look at all the stuff that I did, that if I had hesitated or waited until I had a good idea or waited until I knew it would be successful or waited until whatever, I was good enough, I beautiful enough, funny enough, then you wouldn't have any of that. So take that leap if you've been needing to take one. If not, then keep going. Or do nothing, whatever makes you happy, man. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, wish me better. Yes. Send me good healing thoughts or prayers or whatever. My bursitis could use it. My cold could use it. They are going away. I feel them getting better, but I would like them to get better sooner so I could go back to living a normal life. Thanks for watching. You've been watching Rizrat. I can't. Rizrat. My name's Riz, and I'll see you in the next one.